Welcome back to the HempLucid Podcast. I am your host, Chase Hudson. Today, we have a really good episode. I'm really excited to dive into today's episode with my homie, Ryan Yakachik. And today, we are going to be talking about joint health and mobility. So, as we were writing this episode, I was like, I think I probably know one of the best people on this planet when it comes to joint health and mobility. And Ryan has been absolutely instrumental in my my health and my healing journey. A critical component to it. I mean, I've known Ryan for 12 plus years. I went to him with a really broken body from my days of fighting fire and was looking at having back surgery. And Ryan was like, you don't need surgery. You just need to move more and take care of your body a little bit better. And since then, my back, virtually no pain in my back. And I credit pretty much all of that to Ryan and the wisdom that he has taught me. So I'm super excited to dive into today's topic. And Ryan, thanks for being here.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. And that means a lot. It's cool to be here with you, with somebody that I trust and respect as well. You've done the healing has gone both ways, brother. You've learned so much from you, and it's a blessing to be able to help someone that I care about so much, but just people in general. So yeah, grateful to be here. I'll give you the best answers I got.
Yeah. So Ryan's been working, I've known Ryan for 12 plus years. We met through, actually CBD. I mean, that's really how we met. We were working in an office and Ryan would come in. And at that time you were working with, I think, the Olympic team, the Jazz, and starting to incorporate like CBD into massage and into some of their wellness routines. And then, from there we went to Peru. We went on an ayahuasca retreat together. And since then it's just been like so much has opened up for both of us. And yeah, man, if you just want to kind of give us a little bit of your story, where you came from, how you got into this world that you're into now.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's been reflecting on back what you just described there, how our friendship started and our relationship together. Yeah, it seems like a lifetime ago.
It does.
I've learned so, like I thought I knew a lot back then. I just learned so much more over the last decade, and I'm grateful that and had your support and your love, man. The CBD connection in the early days, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was revolutionary for my practice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was searching, I was looking for, I'm trying to help better and help more, and realizing that, there's only so much I can do on a table with somebody to help with their chronic pain or their rehab of their injury or whatever it is. And CBD played a huge role. And then also just personally with my own health journey. Very powerful, great, incredible ally, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned so much more about it, about cannabis in general. But yeah, so, back then I was kind of coming out of my couple Olympics with the short track speed skaters and some long track too. That's when we met. I was branching out on my own. I had gotten back from the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi with short track, which was an incredible experience. Kind of my background, born in Canada. Dad moved us down in the early 80s to Utah to go to school, brought our family down here and continued the family, building the family down here. I watched him work 8 kids in the culture down here and worked 3 jobs just to pay bills and take care of us. And so didn't see dad a lot unless it was at, team sports stuff. He coached with us or umpiring or reffing. But you don't realize it when you're younger. You don't see the correlations. You don't see the, some of those things, but as I've gotten older, I've noticed, it's like, man, we grow up in a culture that we're slaves to. My dad was a slave to just having to feed his kids, and he didn't understand his health. The knowledge, the information wasn't out there as much. And, he ended up dying at 60 and with the heart thing and kind of out of nowhere. And it's like, man, I think that's what fuels my passion today, is watching all my elders break down and die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's just what we're told.
Right.
You just get older and you can't walk anymore. You got to get the hip replacement. And,
right.
It's just, I don't know. I've always kind of seen outside the box on stuff. Growing up in Utah County, I was very much the black sheep of my neighborhood and the ringleader. I made a lot of questionable choices.
Yeah.
But it was all part of the plan, because you gotta, you can either put yourself in the fire or the fire will find you at some point. And I just decided right off the bat, growing up in the culture in Utah County, that I was not that. And now in hindsight, I made the right decision. I feel I'm like, I was onto something. I knew. Yeah, so I heard Wim Hof say this once. He's like, I was the blackest sheep. Now I'm the whitest sheep. That's how I feel. I feel like the whitest sheep. Yeah. But, and it's not from a place of ego for sure. Like whatever. I feel good. It's nice to feel good about yourself and to love yourself, because a lot of my life I didn't. Majority of my life. But growing up in the culture down here, it was interesting. And I've always been very adventurous, and I seek out fun and game and play and connection. Watching the health of people around me growing up, just really put a lot of passion into where I'm at now. Going through some of the hard times, the lessons, were super important for me, because it's all reflection back. Now when I see a teenager, I'm like, come here, bud. I know exactly where you're at. I can feel it. That's where empathy comes from, is being able to feel what someone else has been through. And so I grew up, I played multiple sports. Pretty athletic kid. We spent a lot of time outdoors. Didn't have money growing up, so everything was, mountains and lakes, playing things that are free. My dad would have us do challenges. You pick up the biggest stone you can see and hold, and now you can't put it down until we get done with the hike. So little things like that kind of built me into, because that's kind of how I train now myself. Excuse me. But yeah, growing up in the culture down here, athletics, trying to find my own way. Where to go from there? Yeah.
How did you end up in the field you're in? And probably didn't do a very good job of teeing up what you do. I mean, you're really a self-made entrepreneur. Your business is, the Stretch Wizard. I'm just try to describe what you do, when people are like, I got this pain or I got this ache or something's wrong with my body. Who do I go see? It's like, well, you need to go see Ryan. And people are like, what does he do? I was just explaining it to the gentleman out here. And I'm like, he does a little bit of everything, it's massage, it's stretch, it's movement. And I think joint health, like you've seen a ton of obviously, joint problems in your career because, you've worked with Olympic athletes, professional athletes, you're still working with professional athletes. So when it comes to, I guess, your path into, this little niche you've created around, overall body, mind, health, it seems that paying attention to like the joints of the body and then kind of segueing that into movement, like those two things are pivotal, vital. And in your experience, how would you connect and correlate joint health and mobility? Like, how important are those two together?
It's super important. Muscle mass, important. Strength, important. Stability, joint stability, important. I think it's all important. I try and look at it all like a full system. Half the battle is just getting people, I feel like, back into their bodies, reconnecting to their body and going, hey, whoa, I'm the operator of this technology. So I can choose how I move through space and time. I can choose what I put inside of it. The supplements, the types of food. I think there's things that I've looked at in nature, movement patterns, because we are nature. Humans, that's the biggest lie we've been told, is that we're not nature. We're part of nature. We're part of all of it. And so I've kind of looked at nature and how animals move. I've got a dog and 2 cats, and I watch them. I hang out, I'm observant, and I'm in my body. I want to feel better in my body. So, practicing how to move better, move fluidly, understanding, pattern, because everything's a pattern and it's a flow. I feel like the better efficiently we move, the better health we have, but we have to have strength on top of that. Like I get the spectrum of different types of athletes and humans on my table, and, the big, strong football players with, the big muscle groups, the power muscle groups, even the speed muscle groups, but the instability or their shape or their patterns off, or their foot is crooked. So, I observe movement myself. I try and mimic things in nature, animals, mimic how they move. And like a cat is very graceful. When a jaguar, lunges out forward on a reach to a step, it's like it can be very fluid and controlled, and it can be very dynamic and fast, but they know how to absorb the energy from one side of the body to the other side of the body. So movement's a huge piece, just more movement in different ways, and different, like the fitness culture kind of shows it in linear patterns, or, it's a bicep curl, and it's like, that's cool. But like, how long can you hang from a bar? The grip strength.
Or bear crawl.
Yeah.
How long can you bear crawl?
How long can you bear crawl? Like, I tell people this all the time, and no one really buys into it. I mean, a few close friends that trust me, but like, you want to run better, learn to crawl better. One of the first workouts I ever did after I got back from it, and did a movement certification in New Orleans. And
I would say since you went and did that, like, your practice has completely changed. And just like the knowledge you gained from that has been instrumental in like my own health,
it connected
my
all the
own
dots.
mobility.
It literally, I went, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
no wonder. Oh, the foot's crooked. Oh, look how the arch collapses then. And then everything is collapsed. The knee collapses, the hips collapsed into the capsule. And I'm like, oh, so I'm fixing people on the table. I'm fixing the knee problem, but I didn't. And I kind of could see, the feet are crooked, but I didn't have a full understanding of it, because really, the wisdom is is you actually reading the book and then practicing, repeating over and over and over again, that whatever it is, the breath work or the meditation technique or like, and I think that's where my development really, I mean, if we could take it a step back too, like when I really took a look in the mirror and held myself accountable for everything that I am and that I've been through. And like, I've been cleaning up my karma with my health for the last 10 years from decades of like either not understanding or being naive or not really caring. So really it's like owning with where you're at and then going, okay, cool. I am terrible and I suck. But if I keep practicing over and I don't worry about I just show up and a little bit and having like an older body that had a lot of abuse on it for, 3 decades. Just reconnecting back to myself and then saying, okay, I listened to the podcast and whoever,
all of them.
Dr. Huberman says, longevity and hanging from a bar. And I'm like, all right, cool. So let's see how that goes. I'm like 20 seconds in, I'm like, man, that's really hard. What am I supposed to be doing at my age at 3 minutes? Wow. I'm really far off. And things like that. It's different than like, if you're going to the gym to bench press and build your number and build your strength, you can, in a 6-week program, you can change that. You can increase your bench press number. With calisthenics, the thing I've noticed, and body weight stuff, it takes way longer. And it's just, so I just
totally agree.
Yeah. So I started thinking to myself, okay, well, what if I just, and this is kind of a technique I learned from Tim Ferriss, the 5-hour body or whatever. It was like every time he would pass something he could hang on, he would just hang on it. So I go for walks and I'm like, okay, cool. Because I've got a shoulder, probably, I don't know, I could go on, I've never been to the doctor, but it feels like based on shoulders I worked on, I've got a torn labrum and torn rotator cuff. And then my clavicle or my collarbone, it pops in and out. So there's instability there. And I'm like, wow, I can just hang from a bar and feel that my shoulders can feel better just from hanging. And then I started to realize that it's even deeper than that, because it's like, the analogy I like to use is there's a system in the body. It's like a light switch. And typically when you grip and grab something, how long can you do that for before it turns off, before you start to lose that connection? Because when you make a full grip, the whole chain lights up from the hands to the shoulder. But it's like people are just, because of how they train and stuff, it's just flicking on and flicking off really, really fast. They don't know how to really hold that connection. And so that technique, just things like, I've made things like that important for shoulder health, for joint health. I'm not bench pressing anymore. If any presses I do, I banded presses or I push up, but yeah, am I on track here?
Yeah. It's kind of like, since you went and did that movement course, it's like you've incorporated like your entire reality into movement, and, not only like the movement, but then just the overall health of the joints. And I'm really hitting on the joints because I've noticed that I've had to push through the pain of like the recode. It's something you really taught me, is like, hey, you got to recode your entire nervous system to actually move like we were supposed to move, like the indigenous people move. And I just, over the years, just sitting with you and just being like, oh my gosh, like I'm a human being, and my ability to move is so limited because of sitting in chairs, like we sit so much in our current reality, and to unwind that into the movement is really based off like the Fibonacci sequence. And I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like all sacred geometry movement and
shapes,
like even just
shapes and patterns.
Even when you're like, dude, stop sitting on your couch. And I was like, what is that even? I have to sit on the floor. Like, we're in America, dude. I got this sweet couch. Like, I'm going to sit on my couch. And I just remember being like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to sit on the floor. And it's been very interesting to watch the recoding happen within my own body, specifically my hips and my knees, in like that recoding of sitting on the floor, moving around. As you're sitting on the floor, it's like, you're moving a lot. The recode like is happening. You're also like stretching. Like I've become so active when I sit on the floor. Like
You have to be.
Yeah, I don't sit. I hardly ever sit on the couch. We have a couch because I have kids, and that's just the way the world. We choose to have a couch, essentially, right now.
Yes, and you want to be the person you want to be the durable human being that can sit in the couch and like not be the weirdo all the time on the ground or whatever. But not that it matters. But like, can I adapt to the environment that I'm in, and then can it not completely wreck me, or do I have an answer for what I do after that? But yeah, the term that kind of has been going around is like marathon sitting. And so I'm like, what does that really mean? Well, how long does it take to run a marathon? I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Like that's a long time in the same position or the same shape. And it's not that this is a bad position. The neck is meant to push out and it's meant to come back. I'm not trying to say that any position is bad, but it's any position that you get locked into can be, it's like you get really strong in that head forward position, but then it becomes your kryptonite. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed with things. It's like, can I be self-aware of what I do and how I do it? And there's other options. Like we don't have to, I know we've been kind of caged lions for a long time and told certain things, but it's like, can I break free of that and go, I could be smarter than my environment. And when you're resting on the ground, depending on the surface, I mean, you're constantly switching positions. So that's great. It's like, it's free movement. It's free mobility. It's free foam rolling. Like lately I've been getting on the ground and I'm like, cool, foam roller's cool. But have you ever just put your head on the ground and like you pushed up with your head? Like, wow, you can strengthen your neck that way, or you can mash the lymph in your temples. And so I'm, cause I'm always giving out the love, the body work and and that type of love. And I'm not, I don't get it as much back. So I got to figure out ways to take care of myself better. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, what if I cause I'm not anything but what if I gave you all my secrets, and then you are amazing as you are and have all your secrets with all my secrets? That means you times me, which is better than me because it's more than me. And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's back to, hey, I'm the operator. I can choose how I decide certain things. And I've learned through a lot of different things that I've researched, I went and did Goda in 2021. Man, it started connecting the dots. The program was built on observation, video observation. And you watch enough. And one of the things they told me, they said, hey, Ryan, you want to get better at this? Cause I thought I was something. I'd been studying online for like a year. I came in like with a little bit of ego and thinking I knew something and I was going to be the best one in class. And I was terrible. They exposed all my stuff, but that was the whole point. Right. And that's my job when someone comes to see me, or that's my job, a responsibility I feel for the people in my tribe. It's like, let me be your blind spot. Let me see what you can't see. And then I'll point that out nicely. And, hopefully we can come together with some sort of strategy and plan moving forward. But, yeah, man, just Goda taught me the shapes and patterns. And they said, Ryan, you want to get better? Watch 1,000 hours of film. I'm like, okay, well, that's a lot. And then practice 1,000 hours. Give me 1,000 reps of that particular recode or position or shape or pattern. And you start somewhere and you suck, and then you just don't ever give up, and you keep showing up, and you try and always come from a place with anything. The best learners are the ones that come in with no expectation. Just, hey, I just want to be better, and tell me what to do or show me what to do, and let's do it together, and we'll figure this out. Because I'm a great ally. I'm the guy you want on your team because I got your back 100%. And but yeah, the movement, just a lot of hours of, and then you got to see it in yourself. So you got to see it in other people, good behavior, movement behavior, or behavior in general. You got to see behavior in people and other humans. And then you have to see it in yourself. And, that, if you want to get real, that's everything. It's how you react to things. It's your triggers. It's how you care for this body. Like, you can tell how much somebody really loves themselves by how they care for themselves. So it's just witnessing human behavior and your own behavior and going, hey, I like this and I don't like that, or this is serving me and that's not. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this for a change. When I just kind of off topic a little bit, but for a long time, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, I started working I kind of broke away from the Olympic athletes, and I was working with the chiro for the Jazz for 6 years. And so I kind of broke away from that, was starting off on my own. And I had an office in Orem, and that's where we first met. And those were the days, man. But I remember a buddy of mine, he's like, Truman, he's a great man.
Great guy.
Good mentor.
Mutual friends still today.
Yes, 100%. He's like, hey, Ryan, I've got this, he started bringing, because I've been working on Truman since I first graduated school. He was like one of my first clients. He was incredibly supportive. And I'm like, man, that's what's cool about having these relationships with people for so long is, I thought I was good then, but I'm so much more evolved. And so when I get somebody in that haven't worked on for a while, I'm like, man, can't wait to get you in because I got some new, like I see things in a different way.
Totally.
And then it's like, how can I build the biggest impact in this short amount of time with this person? And so it might be, stuff that we do on the table, but it also could be some coaching I could do, or some, hey, looking at your blind spots. Hey, if you just kind of, stop eating fast food, that would be really helpful.
It's a good start.
But, so yeah, man, where was I at with that?
Orem.
Oh, well, Truman. So he was sending people into me, and he sent in this young athlete. He was, coming out of his 9th grade year, played for Orem High. I mean, I can name drop, I don't know.
Yeah.
Puka Nakua. But he came in for his first time. And it was funny. I'll kind of tell this story because it's kind of a funny one. My dog is named Puka. But I didn't even know Puka was a name or a thing. Like my dog was Puka, which is the same spelling as his, which is kind of crazy. But I had my dog in my office. She'd come with me to work every day. And I never met this kid before. I didn't know his name. And his mom walked in, incredible lady, Auntie Nina, and she walks in with Puka, and my dog Puka ran up to them to say hi because she's super friendly, and I'm all, Puka, no, come here, babe. And he looks up at me and he's all like, what? And I'm all, oh shoot, is your name Puka? Okay, my bad. So it was kind of crazy, that connection. And then his brother Samson, who I met later, and I used to have a dog named Samson, so there's weird synchronicities going on here. Anyway, he comes in, and he would only come in when he had this pulled hamstring, and he'd only come in when he was hurting. And this was back, 15 years ago, when I super passionate, wanting to help, but thought I knew some things, but knew there was more going on than I understood. And the movement piece was it. definitely a huge part of it. Part of it too was I kind of started, as I got to know him a little bit more and he started opening up to me. I'm like, so tell me about like, what do you, cause I'm like, I started to understand that food's probably pretty important, what we're putting in our body. And I'm like, so what do you eat for lunch? Like, talk to me about your day. And he's like, well, you know, I usually go to McDonald's, and I'm like, oh, maybe let's not do that anymore. Maybe that'll help your hamstring. Like if you get better food in, maybe that could help with your joint health and your hamstring health. And he's like, well, I could probably try that. And I'm like, and have you heard of meditation? So I'm like, because I'm just in the beginning phases of understanding, learning about meditation and the big hype on it. And it's can help you so much, and stress and visualization. And there's so much more to it that I've understood, but I didn't really start to understand it until I actually started to have a daily practice of it. In the beginning. And it's funny because it's like, you can have all the knowledge, but no wisdom, because you never actually put anything into like, now it's like, oh, meditation is what I thought meditation was. And that's everything. Like there's layers to everything, any skill, anything you want to develop.
For sure.
But yeah, that's kind of went off on that tangent. Orem, joint health.
Yeah.
Can I get some clout? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah. It's pretty awesome. And I mean, it's been awesome for me to watch like your evolution and how you've worked on people. I mean, you've worked on some of the biggest names in all of sports, you know, and it's been fun to like, you know, see your evolution of how you work with those people and then the evolution within your own self. And I think that the movement aspect of like the health and wellness world, there should be more emphasis put on like, how are you actually moving? Like not how you're just moving in the gym, but like, how are you actually moving? And
yeah, I love that.
You know, I thought I was in pretty good shape. You know, you came back from that movement clinic and you're like, cool, do a bear crawl. And you know, you get 20 yards in and you're like,
that's where I was at.
I don't know anything. And then you're like, hey, when you're at home, like do these, you know, they're called rockers, but it's, you know, you get on your knees, and we're gonna do more videos like showing like these movements.
I love that.
But even just like, hey, do your 50 rockers every day. And when I first started doing that, I couldn't believe how sore I was in my, you know, my glutes, my hamstrings, my quads, you know, like
adductors,
sore in places that didn't even make sense to me. And that's when it really started to hit, or like really started to set in where it's like, man, the recoding of the nervous system, I'm not actually moving the way that this body is actually capable of moving. And so, you know, for people out there listening, you know, we're even like, if you were just to give advice to people out there on like movement, like, yes, it's good to get up and go for walks. You know, I think everybody
walking is a skill. Goda teaches
for sure.
They teach walking and running as a skill. I mean, obviously running, it's a lot more load and compression and all the forces, whatever. But yeah, so here's a kind of a cool little thing that I've learned over this last summer. So I work with this guy, his name's Charles. Yaya, shout out to Yaya.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on.
Guilty Gains,
yeah,
chocolate,
Guilty Gains,
artesian chocolate with protein
and creatine.
He's got creatine. That one's really good too. The sea salt, the dark sea salt. But so I've been teaching him. I've been working with him for 5 years, 6 years. He played pro basketball, just recently retired, pretty much because his foot couldn't last anymore. And the things that I brought to him, and my understanding now is way different. It's just deeper than what it was. I was freshly out of the Goda movement cert and whatever. And so, but I hadn't fully embodied it deep enough to really understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a better blueprint, and I gave this blueprint to him, and he would kind of dibble dabble in it. He trusted me, but we hadn't built the relationship that we have now. And so there was, it took some time to develop and build that. And I'd only get to see him for a short off season, half a dozen times maybe. And then he'd go back to Europe to play basketball. But what was his issue was he was overtraining. He was kind of coming from the background of, you got to work harder.
Mm-hmm.
You got to grind more
Mm-hmm.
to be a better athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been teaching him how to be subtle and ninja and soft and absorb and explode and land and absorb and grace. And this dude is, I don't know, he's 6'4", and he's at least 220. He's jacked and shredded athlete with terrible feet. And so my foot journey, take care of your feet. That's number one. Like, they got to be on straight. That's the alignment of your car. The direction your foot is pointing tells me the direction your hips are pointing. And and there's some detailed things that we could get into in that, and it'd probably be helpful to do that with some video. But
Mm-hmm.
The evolution of my own personal foot journey, I'm starting to realize, and I've been doing barefoot for 10 years, but not with the same intentional focus that I've had for the last 5-6 years. And people's feet are weak. We're really that's really bad. Shoes. And I know we need protection. It's like the environments we live in. Luckily we're in Utah, and there's a lot of parks and mountains and places that, you can take the shoes off and ground and get some negative ions and release some positive charge in the body. But the foot journey, and then one of the things, so I'm kind of all around with this right now, but one of his weak feet, and one of the things when he came back after his last year of playing, and he had bought a Recode package from Goda so that he could have some stuff to kind of play with while he was on the road. And it kind of was good. It was really good. And it helped him with his evolution of his understanding of his own body and some of these shapes and positions and patterns that I'm talking about. But it was cool because we've linked up and we started coaching and teaching together. So he's got his pro basketball career and all his experience with athletics and his physical strength. And then he's just a great human being with a huge heart that I can call a brother now. But he called me one day this last summer, last 2025, and or it was the fall maybe. And he's like, so I have a lot of respect for you. And I'm like, okay, thank you. What do you mean? It's like, well, I actually did what you told me to do. He's like, normally I go to the coffee shop to study and do my school stuff, and I'm on my laptop, and I normally sit in the couch or the chair or whatever. And I'm usually there for 2 or 3 hours. Well, he's like, I'm going to do what you told me to do and just make a floor desk and change positions. And I showed him the shapes and the different things he can, noodle on and work on. And he's like, but guess what? I got done. Here's what I noticed. Normally I would get up, and he's a younger dude. I'm almost 50. He's 35 or 36. And he's like, what I noticed was when I got up from sitting on the ground, it was tough. He's like, much respect to you that you do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really hard. He's like, that's a workout in itself. He's like, you're working out all day. And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like, but I got up, and normally I'd be like stiff, and I'd have to go stretch or roll out because my hips were all tight and my back wasn't, compressed or whatever. He's like, I got up and I just started walking, and I was like, wow. So I just burned calories, if you want to believe the calories in, calories out BS. I burned calories. I had to change shapes and positions that I'm not great at. So I'm working mobility, and I don't have to go and spend 30 minutes rolling out and doing recovery from just doing schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all bingo, bango, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's everything. And so, yeah, take care of your feet, wear less shoes. If you're going to do that, go on soft surfaces, let your body adapt, give it time to adapt. Like you don't have to go crazy like I did in the beginning and, catch yourself on a hike and barefoot and you got to get all the way back and it's shell and every little step it feels like glass. You don't have to go crazy like that. You can let yourself adapt. It's the great news is, guys, is like it's a lifelong journey. Like you have, like I'm middle-aged. I have 50 more years. I can figure it out. I don't have to know it all right now.
Yeah. I would say out of everybody I know, you move the best and the most efficient out of everybody I know. Charles, I think Charles is getting there. I feel like I'm getting there, but still not as, I'm mobile, but I'm still in like the recode phase.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, it's like one of the like practice what you preach type things.
It's just embodiment, man. It's
just
embodying. It's going, hey, I suck and I want to be better. And I trust Ryan. I don't know it all yet, but I trust him that he's going to give me the right information and that he cares. And if he doesn't have the information, he's going to guide me where I need to go or what I need to look at. A lot of how my coaching these days is like, and I was talking to my nephew about this. He plays baseball in North Dakota. And I'm like, look, he has inflammation. He's got some tendonitis thing going on. My brother's like, well, what do you think it is? And I'm like, well, it's a loaded question. It's a lot of things. I know teenagers. I know they don't eat well. Yeah. I know they stay up late. I know they're on their phones. I got them.
They're not moving.
Teenagers, so they're not moving enough.
Uh-huh.
And then he's in North Dakota. It's cold as shit.
Uh-huh.
He's not grounding.
Uh-huh.
He's not getting enough sunlight because there's not a lot of sunlight up there. So yeah, a lot of that stuff. But then I'm like, from a movement standpoint, I'm always looking at things from multiple angles, and movement's a huge part of it. I'm like, well, I know with baseball players, one of the things that happens is they don't understand how to close the hip on the release of the arm. And so the arm's taking all this extra torque, and then it ends up UCL, and people are like, oh, well, it's just repetitive stress. And then, well, why do some bodies break down and other bodies don't? So I'm like sending them videos of, did you watch the videos? Did you actually watch them? Did you go through and listen to how they break it down? Because you need to understand that. So you can either trust me, you're paying, in a lot of the clients, I'm like, look, you're paying me the big bucks. Like, either trust, why are you coming to me if you're not going to listen to what I have, my information? Like, the gold is not what I'm doing with you on the table. The gold is the information. It's me being able to hold that space for you and just with unconditional love and take care of you, but then get you in that theta brainwave state so I can plug in some different programs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's where the like cup too full can be detrimental to your progression, because if you already think you know, which I get a lot of people like that, they already think they know. So I'm telling them that, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, no, you don't.
No.
You're going to be back next week. So I guess I'll take your 250 next week.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Because I struggled for a lot of years of like, no. You just have to listen to me and do what I say. So I've learned to be more tactful. I've learned to meet people with where they're at. I've learned to know when to invest information, my passion, my wisdom, my knowledge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you say, like, leaving people with a little nugget of, okay, if you want to become more mobile, obviously move more, but would you say starting to sit on the floor is like a foundational component of becoming more mobile, loosening up the joints? Is that a place where you would?
Yeah, I say that. I say really just taking a 360 view of yourself and what is it? What are you doing? Okay, how about you do something that's opposite of that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it can be simple as like when you wake up in the morning, maybe you shower, and then you go coffee. Maybe you don't shower. Maybe you just don't shower that day. That's an option. Like too much unfiltered water on your body, especially hot water, is not good. So do something different. But yeah, sitting on the ground, one of my favorite things I go to is Japanese resting posture. They call it seiza or samurai. It's just either your feet are flat or they're tucked on the back, and I can show videos of this later, or you can look it up. But yeah, getting into seiza, because for me, it's coming back into the body, and that position on the ground, it's like, it's a humble position. It's like I can sit there and I can tune into myself. I can do a little meditation. I can do a little bit of breath work, some diaphragm breathing, some breath holds. So I'm in my body. So I'm focused on my breath. I'm trying to let go and just be and see how things feel, self-diagnose. Gosh, my knee, my hip, my back, my neck, what's going on? And then that kneeling position can be transferred with the hands on the ground into all fours, and you can rock. And it's like this toddler rocking that's like so parasympathetic. I mean, it can be sympathetic. You can make that position work, but that position right there, that's the setup for your crawl. So yeah, sit on the ground in different positions, and then maybe try a crawl and see how that feels. But, just kind of starting there. And, a lot of my workouts, especially over the last few years, have started like on the hill, where I'm completely overwhelmed with everything going on in the world. I'm feeling everything. I'm shedding all my layers. I'm detoxing my life. And it starts off as just me sitting in seiza. And I'm like, I don't even want to work out. And then the sun comes out through the clouds and I'm hot for a second. Then the shirt, I'm like, shoot, the shirt goes off. I'm like, some sunlight. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, a little couple breaths. And then I'm like, man, I feel like I want to move. And then I'm crawling. So, get to the ground more and then figure out ways to move from the ground. I don't think that there's necessarily bad ways to move from the ground. I think explore a lot of different things.
Yeah, it seems like there's this deep, like part of our operating system, the underlying operating system, there's so much there when it comes to movement. And it's been interesting, like, my journey kind of, set me on this path, but kind of the same thing, you start on the ground, you start like, yeah, what is this? It's like this unconscious program wants to come out. And so you just kind of like start feeling yourself and, like, yeah, my knee, my hip, little movement. And then all of a sudden it's like just this like innate wisdom of how intelligent this vehicle is starts to come through.
I love that.
And it's like, I do the same, I'm outside and, moving seiza, and all of a sudden you're bear crawling, then it's like crab crawling, and then just like doing weird different movements. Like it all just starts to come out.
I love it.
And
powerful.
I think, if we're going to, leave people with something from, this, conversation that we've been having, it's like, get on the floor, get into your body, like feel your body, feel where you're stiff. Like your body is such an intelligent instrument. Like it will communicate with your brain on where the issues are, and just like get into that and kind of surrender to the movement. And then I think people will just be really shocked and like impressed with what comes through.
Yes.
And what they're actually capable of.
I agree 100% on that. I love that. That's where I'm at. It's like you don't have to abuse yourself at the gym. Like live to train another day. Pick a skill that you want to get better at.
Yeah.
That's sitting on the ground. Pick that and then just say, hey, I'm going to dive into this for a little bit. And then, hey, can I transfer out of this position? Like, do I need to, and how do I do that? And there's different ways, you can work on that, but like, it all comes back to, it's like the innate intelligence of the body. We've been these caged tigers for so long we don't even know anymore, and getting back down to the ground, some centering breaths, maybe a gratitude prayer, or, and then nothing is wrong. I was working with this guy this morning, Mr. Brown, and he's one of Frank's friends, and he's become a dear brother now, the time we spent together. That's what's so cool about what I do, is like I'm connecting to other human beings through my passion and my love. And it's like, come on, get on my back, brother. I'll carry you for a while. And that's one thing, like, I'm like, there's no rules. I mean, there's a couple little details of some things I want you to focus on to get better movement, or maybe you're holding your breath or something, but like, let's just free flow together. And today's session with him was like, because of the first few times with him was very heavy on kind of, here's your foundation, here's some rules, here's some things to think about, here's some shapes that I want you to work on, here's your weaknesses. Now you practice that for a week and come back and see me. And then today was, we're like 5 sessions in, and today was like, just, hey, let me see what you know. You've been doing this for a minute now. Let me show me. I don't know anything. You show me. And he starts, so, and then I start next to him. I'm just like free flowing, mimicking his movement next to him. And dude, it was a really cool, it was like a dance and a play. Like, I don't want to work out. I've put my body through so much for so many of the wrong reasons. I don't want to work out anymore. I just want to feel good. I want to free flow. And that's what we're creating, Charles and I. And
right.
so,
yeah. It's been interesting your physique, you're like super shredded, and you're almost 50, and you're in like better shape than me. Your movement is better than me. And it's great, man. It's great, because it's like, you're a really inspiring person. And
thanks,
it's like, yeah, breaking out of the shackles of like this cultural operating system of like, you get old, your body breaks down, you get the surgeries, you're on the pharmaceuticals, or
you got to look a certain way. Like
that's a big one.
It's all aesthetic. And it's like, oh, it's just your self-esteem. Like, you just don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm usually, my first implementation there is like, bro, you need to work less hard. Just get your food dialed, like get your sleep dialed, your circadian rhythm dialed, get in nature more, play. Like, I had this dude that came in, Charles and I were doing this breakfast club, and we had a couple of guys in the class, and bless their hearts, but they became kind of cancerous. And so we discontinued that class. But one of the guys, I'm trying to like connect with him, and I'm like, so, what are your goals? Like, and he's all, I just want to have the Brad Pitt body from Fight Club. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't understand that type of discipline, bro. Like, dude, he's probably 4% body fat in that movie, and you don't know what peptides, what hormones, what supplements. His whole job is to be like that, to look that role. You sit behind a desk. You're a middle-aged dude just like me with kids. That's not realistic. I used to have that. I was chasing that look. Now it's cool to look great, but like, when you stop paying attention to when you stop making that your primary focus, and you just learn to move better in your body because you want to feel better about yourself and how you feel in it. Because your body, hell really is not having peace inside of yourself. I know what it is to go through injuries. That's one of the biggest lessons and tools that I've used to help people with the same stuff. And I know how it feels to have one thing lit off, or one thing wrong, or one pain, or you get, the double COVID shit, and you're laid up in bed for 4 days and taking 100 milligram edibles just to kill the pain. Like, I know how it is. And it's like, I was telling my son this, I'm like, man, at the end of the day, son, it's you and you. He's like, what do you mean? So, well, your wife or your girlfriend or your friend, or, they might hold your hand for a minute, but at the end of the day, it's you and you with all your karma, with all the things you've done, all the things you said, all the ways, if you want to look at it.
Right.
And I've been shown all that many times. And so it's being able to go, God, well, it's okay. I'm a human being, and I made some mistakes, or I treated myself this way, or these benders and whatever, all the debauchery. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's you and you. And that's my biggest thing. It's like, man, I just want people to feel good in their bodies, because while you're on the earth, it can be heaven or it can be hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all, I mean, one little thing can throw you off, and, you know, your back hurts, and it's like, then you go to somebody, you're like, you're giving your power away. Like, even when you come to me, in a lot of ways, if you just wanted me to fix you on the table, it's like you're giving your power away. Like, let me teach you how to get back in your body so that you can understand, like, hey, I have control of this. I'm the operator, right? I'm just the soul that inhabits this technology, and it's incredible. And it will heal itself if I set the stage, if I set the environment in the right frequencies. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, totally love that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun because we're gonna start to do like another series with Ryan and Charles, and, you know, us, more like movement. We're basically gonna show people how to move, like what these guys are doing in the gym, you know, what they're teaching people, what they've taught me, and we're gonna kind of like create this little bit of a series off of this episode. So, you know, we'll definitely stay tuned. We'll probably end up posting and linking all the other videos in the footnotes. And yeah, we're just gonna start with the feet, start with getting on the ground, showing you guys doing some rockers. Yeah, we want to take this information that, you know, this wisdom that, you know, Ryan and Charles have, and really just kind of share it with the world. So definitely stay tuned. And thanks for being here, brother. Peace. Appreciate you.
Yeah.